All right.
So
Wait, we were toasting, you silly thing.
It's okay. It's okay. So the idea, so this is just a practice run.
All right.
Do a toast just for the hell of it. Then we're all gonna toast.
I could have used a lot more water.
You're funny.
I was thirsty.
So, perfect way to start off the meeting. So, this is our first unofficial toast to Toastmasters. And we have some distinguished Toastmasters here today to give you guys a view of what happens in a Toastmaster meeting and some of the things that you can look forward to if you ever decide to join the organization.
Yay.
Now, our speaker, so today I'm your host, I'm Scotty Carlisle. We have a guest evaluator. This is Miss Jana Wachle. And we have Derek Guiterriez, who is the speaker extraordinaire. And, so to get the meeting started off on a proper foot, I think we should do a toast to Toastmasters. What do you think, Derek? You want to give us a little toast?
Sure, that sounds like a great idea. Well, if we can raise our glasses. I think I drank mine already.
Here, let me do this.
There we go. Yeah, it's just like at a wedding, right? Hey, waiter, can I get some more? Bring another couple over here. Well, here's a toast to Toastmasters. Toastmasters is this wonderful organization that is designed to help people become better. It's more than just a speaking club and a leadership club. It's a personal development club. And what I have found for everybody that I know that has ever been involved with Toastmasters is it has offered a certain special thing to their life. So I'd like to say, Toastmasters, thank you for making my life better. Thank you for introducing me to some amazing people that I have gotten some wonderful friendships with. And thank you for creating a platform to make the world better. Here's to Toastmasters.
Cheers.
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 All right.
Hey, this tastes like water.
Oops. So next time we're going to have the real stuff. But either way, so what's going to happen now is Derek is going to give a prepared speech. We are going to listen to Derek's speech, and then afterwards we're going to evaluate him on how we feel, what we saw, and how we heard his speech, and give him some pointers that he may be able to improve upon, and you may be able to glean a little bit of insight from our evaluation of Derek. So me and Jana, or Jana and I, will both be evaluating Derek. And so Derek, what made you decide to join Toastmasters in the first place?
Wow, that's a great question. I think it's the same for most people. It's a need. You find a need and you go out and you decide to satisfy that need. And if I can take you back, let me take you back about 20 years. 20 years ago, I found myself in this place. Are we going?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Your time's going.
Yeah, my time's
Okay.
going. Are we good on the camera? Okay. Well, let me take you back about 20 years. 20 years ago, I found myself in this position where I was changing jobs and I really wasn't happy with the way things were going in my life. So what I started to do is I started to go to this little corner location that you could rent cassette tapes from. And these were personal development ones. Those were Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, which was one of my favorites. And I remember listening to this program, and it talked about this thing called Toastmasters. And I thought, what the heck is Toastmasters? But it explained it would be one of the most single decisions that I would make that was going to be great for me. So I thought, okay, let me pull up Toastmasters. I pulled it up. I found a club that was in Corona, where I live, at Crossroads Church, and I made a commitment and I went there. Well, here's this whole group of people that are standing up and speaking, and while I felt very awkward with this, I decided, I think this is for me. I'm going to give this a go. If I can learn to be better, then what the heck, why not? I mean, for $40 a year, it's a lot cheaper than a Dale Carnegie weekend, that's for sure. So I decided to stick with it. And what I found is that I was beginning to learn the skill set of how to communicate effectively, how to have more confidence, how to not get nervous in front of people, and be able to deliver a speech. More so, what I began to discover is I learned a lot. Because of the curriculum, it required me to do homework, to prepare speeches, to dig in and do research. And with that research is where I began to find my confidence and my skill set of being able to deliver effectively, especially because I was in sales. And we're in sales, we want to do well. We want to be able to be clear and concise so people understand us. So this was my point of origin, was going into it trying to develop that skill set. Well, I got really, really good at it after a while. And because I got good after a while, I was able to feel confident in such a way that I knew that my peers around me were not developing the skill set. And as I began to become better at listening, because that was the number one thing, is I had to become better at listening so that I knew how to deliver back to whomever it was I was speaking with. Well, fast forward, I ended up leaving after 3 years because I kind of got big for my britches and I learned something and felt so confident that I could just go tackle anything in the world. Well, now let's fast forward another 10 years and all of a sudden I realized, like anything, if you don't practice it, your skill set goes away. What I said to myself is, Derek, what were you doing when you were most successful? And it was Toastmasters. So, with the help of my friend Jana, we established a new club for the Board of Real Estate here in Corona, and we created Inland Gateway Toastmasters. And we've been working diligently for the last 5 years, building an amazing club so that way we could in fact help our peers improve their skill sets, improve their business, and make their lives better. But more importantly, we've committed to ourselves to make our lives better. Now, what is Toastmasters? Now that you know my little journey and how it is that I've gotten here, what exactly is Toastmasters? Simple. It is a speech and leadership club. I like to say it's a personal development club. I'll say it over and over and over again because the reality is when you begin to learn how to speak effectively, and what is speaking effectively? Well, really it's more like communicating effectively. It is being able to use thoughts, words, emotions. Many of them are expressed in our face. They're expressed in our tone, our pitch, and our volume, because I certainly want you to hear me, but sometimes I have to talk very quietly so you can hear me as well. These are effective things that we learn in Toastmasters. But in addition to that, I learned how to use body gestures. Because don't we all use our hands when we speak? Certainly. Don't we move around and get into people's personal space so that we communicate? We all do it. It's something natural, but most of us are doing it unconsciously. Key point. If you listen to someone when they're speaking, the number one thing that we try to teach you is how to eliminate the words These are effective things that will help you to clarify your thinking. The reality is communication is key. Miscommunication is the number one thing that creates most problems in business, relationships, not only with our spouse, but with our children. It made me a better husband. It made me a better dad because of my studying and focusing on learning how to speak appropriately and listen effectively. I actually learned how to be a better dad. I learned how to listen to my children. I learned how to be able to teach them how to become more effective communicators. And because they were learning how to be effective communicators at a young age, that helped them to forge better relationships with their friends and their peers, and even their teachers. My wife, I learned how to become a kinder, more caring husband. And I learned how to listen to what her feelings were. But I was able to learn how to read her feelings. Instead of getting mad at something, I learned how to intercept her body language, her tones. These are the things that a lot of times send us off the rail. Oh my goodness. And we are rolling right along on time. All right, let me take a couple steps forward. I'm going to give you a perfect example here of how communication works. So here's a statement. A woman without her man is nothing. And I'm sure, ladies, you probably don't like the way that sounds. But let me rephrase that with a little bit of punctuation. A woman without her man is... Oh, wait a minute. I said it wrong. Darn it. See? This is a perfect example. A woman without man. Darn it. Now I've lost it. It's such a good one, too.
Happens.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Swipe left. We're going to move on. That's how we deal with the Toastmasters. We just keep rolling along. Normally we don't say swipe left. We just pretend that we never made the mistake and it was never missed and you'll never know. Again, effective communication comes with how you deliver. Communication is the process of two people passing ideas from one another to a successful resolution. Here is our resolution. Toastmasters will make you better. Toastmasters will allow you the opportunity to learn how to make everything else in your life flow together more concretely. If you take these steps and you step out of your shell and you fight that fear and you get all those butterflies, as we like to say, flying in formation, the nervousness will never go away, but it's how you manage the nervousness. And that by far will lead you much, much quicker into your life ahead and will give you the framework that you need in any living situation and every relationship that you have. With that said, my time is up for the day. I greatly appreciate you listening to me. Madam Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster.
Mr. So now we're going into our next portion of the meeting, and this is going to be the evaluations. And what better way to start off the evaluations with the best evaluator in Toastmasters?
Get out
So
of here.
it is. She's really good. So, but no pressure, Jana.
No pressure.
So without
No
further
pressure.
ado,
No pressure.
Jana.
Thank you very much, Scotty. I appreciate it. Just to let your audience know that I've been in Toastmasters for 6 years. I joined, charter member of what Derek said, the Inland Gateway, and we are made up mostly of lenders and realtors. I am a realtor, and I am a distinguished Toastmaster. I did go through the program, and I got that, and I'm very proud of it. So I want to let you know that. I get to give an evaluation to you.
Yes.
Derek, I really enjoyed the history. I did not even know some of that history that you gave. That was very, very informative for me to have the background of what made you go to Toastmasters in the first place, why you continued it, why you stopped it, and why you came back to it. I really enjoyed that part. Then you gave the benefits of being a Toastmaster, personal development, speech, leadership. It really truly does all of those, and you actually are a great example of that. So you do speak from experience. A few of the things that I would advise you to look out for: speaking, because I know you speak and you like to speak. We are in a new setting here of a podcast standing. It's been a while since we've gotten to, because we're not on Zoom, which is we normally have them. Watch the rocking. You tended to move up, to move back, to move up and back. Just gently, very gently. If you're on stage, you're going to walk And we expect you to walk because you're going to address the whole audience. You're going to walk this way and you're going to speak to somebody. You're going to walk this way and speak to somebody. So standing still is a little bit more difficult. I would also caution you to watch licking your lips. That was happening a little bit, and I realized even though we did the toast and we had the water, there was a little bit of lip licking going on. You just kind of want to be aware of that. You did have points, and I liked that. You did say key point. You did do a key point. I would have liked you to have come back to that, and I thought you were going to re-reference it. But instead, you went off to a couple of other points, which were good. But if you're going to tell me key point, I want to know why that's a key point. I want you to bring it back to me. I want to get it in there. Because by the time it ended, I forgot what that key point was. If you have a key point, hammer it, hammer it, hammer it. Because we tend to forget quite easily. I think that the timing got you off a little at the end. And for those in Toastmasters, we know we are actually timed so that we can finish a speech, and we do have a timer going on. I think he looked at it and saw the red and got a little panicky at the very, very end. So his wrap-up was not as good as it normally is. I would just say take a deep breath, look at that clock, and then finish it up. You got a little bit rattly at the very end, and that's not normally like you either, but we're all practicing here. Good history, good points, value you gave to being a Toastmaster made me want to not just join, I've already joined, stay in it, and reap the benefits of doing the Toastmaster program. I appreciate what your speech was about. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is a very good example of a very good evaluation. She
Absolutely.
broke it down. You broke that down great, Jana.
Oh, thank you.
Like way better than I could have. So thank you for that.
I was just thinking, I was like, man, I wouldn't have caught that.
I wouldn't have. There was like at least 7 things I was like, oh, good point. Yeah, well, yeah. And see, and that is the beauty of Toastmasters, of having somebody that has experience with Toastmasters, and they come out and basically see things, and they have a ton of different experiences that they can measure and kind of, again, evaluate. So, Derek, as far as my evaluation of you, you know, the thing is, this is the very first meeting, and you came out here, and I think you hit a home run. Okay, so, yeah, you screwed up a couple things, right? But everything.
Typical.
Yeah.
There's always something, right?
I can only say it like that because I can relate it like that. Because I mean, me and you are very similar in how, and you know what our biggest obstacle is also our saving grace. And that is preparation, right? So one of my favorite quotes is that you do not rise to the level of your potential, but you fall to the level of your training. It was a Navy SEAL that had said that.
Wow.
Jocko Willink. The guy's like one of my heroes. He's really good. And when you think about it, it does make sense. And it does make you want to prepare. Now, you didn't know exactly what you were getting into when you came here. So how could you prepare for something that you don't know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So you get that's why you still hit a home run, because you did excellent. You adapted to the environment. Your speaking you had very good pacing, so you were talking to us and you gave things a little bit of time to sink in, and then you continued. And again, part of the evaluation, I think I need to evaluate myself in not having a structured meeting, so you guys knew exactly what you're going to walk into, and that is so that is not your fault. That's my fault. But again, you did an excellent job. Mm-hmm. And had you not been a member of Toastmasters and had a lot of practice, I don't think you would have been able to pull it off like that. So that again is another testament to this organization. I think it is a great organization, and I think you did a great job. Jana, I think you did an amazing job evaluating. Thank you very much for that. And I'm looking
Thank you.
forward to seeing the next event.
I'd like to add, life is
Sorry.
never planned. Sure, you can make plans, but to your point, I was able to do this because I've had lots of opportunities to practice through Toastmasters in a safe environment where I don't feel judged, where I don't walk away feeling like, oh gosh, I'm horrible. No, but what I was getting is very good constructive remarks that helped me to build. And even as a seasoned speaker, yet there's still these points in time where, I stumble. It's natural. But coming into this and not knowing, the fact of the matter is most of us walk into situations, whoever we're getting in contact with, really not knowing exactly how it's going to play out. So we have to be able to maneuver into that situation, but have the confidence to do it. And I say confidence a lot because you could put me in front of 1,000 people and I could do this. If there was 1,000 people out there, I could do it. If there's 2 people, I could do it. Most people do not feel that they could do that. With fear, or the fear of speaking as number 1 above death, which is just, crazy.
Oh,
to
isn't that
me.
funny?
That's nuts.
It's nuts,
Yeah,
right?
Right. Yeah.
So I think to myself, like, wow, I should pat myself on the back because I'm not afraid of public speaking. It's just the point of you need the opportunity in an environment to practice your skill set, and not at the kitchen table if you're in a sales situation. You don't want to be practicing then.
No.
Practice in front of
Right.
all of this, get the constructive criticism that you need, come back again, redeliver that speech or something very similar
Oh,
to
I'm
it,
so sorry.
which makes it work for us.
Just, hang up.
Hi, Dr. Horani.
And we have a phone call.
I'm good.
The lines are ringing. Call in right now.
Okay.
Oh, we even have we've got a barn out back with the dogs. That's the best one, the rooster.
Have you heard that one?
No, but it sounds like we're gonna
Because
need
you
to
don't
hear
see
it
a
soon.
story like that coming
No,
from you.
no, you don't. Yeah.
You're like,
The rooster and the hen.
she's so cute. What about that rooster?